So today we are looking into regression. Now, we have done regression since, I don't even know, November, but we're going to look at it through Regents questions. And a lot of times, well, sometimes they make you write an equation and then they make you answer an equation about that. So that's what we really have to work on today. Now, I don't have the graphing calculator. So I know you guys know which buttons to use, so I don't think this is going to be that terrible. But I will be using the Delta Math graphing calculator, so it'll look a tiny bit different, but I'll make sure to write down which buttons you push while you're following along. So we are on number 1. Let's see, I'm going to do pink. The accompanying table shows the enrollment of a preschool from 1980 through 2000. Write a linear regression equation to model the data in the table. So, whenever they say regression or equation, in your mind you go, ooh, I know that. Stat, edit. And the first column goes into L1 and the second column goes into L2. I'm going to pause my video and type that into my Delta Math graphing calculator. Just in case you need to use this at home, I know a lot of you have that Calculate 84. I don't have an iPhone. So what I'm doing here, I would use Desmos, but I'm going to click on the calculator on Delta Math and go to Statistics Calculator. And this screen automatically pops up. So kind of like how we press on our calculator, stat edit. This says edit list. So now I'm going to pause this. I'm going to type my first column into L1 and my second column into L2. Alrighty, get this out of the way. So here I've got my column 1, my L1, and my column 2. So now up here where I have edit, actually, after you do stat edit, I know you guys know this, you go stat calc. I don't know why I just did that. See, that says calc. And you choose number 1 when you're doing stats, like the mean, median, and mode. The only other ones you might have to do are 5, and that's if they want to make you do a quadratic. That usually doesn't happen on Algebra 1, so I'm just going to kind of put a dashed line there. Chances are you'll likely have to do 4 for a line, lin, reg. Remember, regression means make an equation, or scroll down and do number 0 for exponential. I believe in this problem they want us to do a line, so you would choose number 4. Now, because I'm not using that, up here on the main menu, I'm going to go to Calc, and I'm going to choose this one. See, they have 1, 4, 5. It's pretty much the same thing, just a touch different. So now here's my equation. The A goes in here, and the B goes in here. So I would say y equals 1.08x plus negative 2125. So I'm going to write that down on my other page. So here, y equals, I don't even remember what it was. 1.0. And I believe that's all we had to do. Let's move to the next one. Number 2, the data table below shows the water temperature at various depths in the ocean. Remember, when you see a table, you go, yes, stat edit, I got this. L1, L2. Now down here it says, it gives us the directions. Write the linear regression equation for this set of data, rounding all values to the nearest thousandth. So important words, linear. So that means when we do stat calc, we choose number 4. Nearest thousandth means 3 decimal places. So again, I'm going to pause the video, work my magic in my Delta Math, and then come back and show you what the answer is. You guys do the same thing. Okay, get this bigger. So here's my equation. The decimals are huge. They want us to round to the nearest thousandth. That's 3 decimal places. So we have this and then this. So I'm going to start with y equals negative 0.11. Now to round, you got to look one space over. It's bigger than 5, or 5 or bigger, so that rounds up to 2. X plus 23.44. Now we look here, one space over, it's less than 5, so the 8 stays the same. So I'm going to write this on our paper, and I'll meet you right back. Okay, I didn't have any room, so I wrote it down towards the bottom. Now, if you have trouble with rounding, don't worry. This is a 4-point question on a Regents. If you have trouble, you lose a point. You can still get 3 other points. Now let's look at this next section. I'm doing this in purple. Using this equation, predict the temperature at a water depth of 255 meters. Well, let me scroll back up and see, is that X or is that Y? Oh, water depth is X. So that means I'm going to plug a 255 in for X down here. Y equals negative 0.112 times 255 plus, and then type that in your calculator. Pause the video and come back when you have an answer. So when I put that in, I got negative 0.112. That's a 1. That's cold. Oh, round to the nearest. Nope, that's a different problem. And what do they want us to round to? Nearest integer. So we would say y equals negative 5. And that little 0, little exponent anything, that's my degree symbol. Negative 5 degrees Celsius is really pretty cold. Okay, now we're going to switch over to the exponential regression section. Same idea, except the equation looks a little bit different. This one says, for number 1, a cup of soup is left on a countertop to cool. The table below gives the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit of the soup recorded over a 10-minute period. Now here's our directions. Write an exponential equation and round to the nearest thousand. So just like our linear, L1 and L2. So you still do stat edit, but this time you do stat, calc, and then you choose 0 because it's exponential. So I will put this into and check back after we're done. Okay, so I guess I didn't pause this. Hello, so good thing I wasn't mumbling under my breath. This looks weird, and it always gets people. So remember, you're plugging in the A value and the B value. So the graphics on our calculator are not great. What this means is we have y equals A times B. That little triangle is an exponent to the X. So our equation becomes this. I think we're rounding to 3 decimal places, it said. Y equals 180.377. Remember, you look one extra space over, it's 5 or bigger, so I round it up. And then in parentheses, our B is this 0.954, bigger than 5, exponent x. So this is our equation. And I wish I could copy and paste, but I cannot. So that is our equation for question 1. The rest, try to do questions 2, 3, and 4, and then come back and check your work.